that triple. He just get a kill on his own teammate, but it doesn't really matter, right? Jones just still going. He finds 3 as well. Might do the smoke and finds 2. That might just be a free use find. It's disgusting from Dragons. Lovely stuff from Sergio. Oh my god. Saki, TJ, and Breaker, you'll go back to the respawn. Oh my god. Breaker finds 3. TJ just finds 3 massive kills for his team.
Yeah, we both needed a cuppa after that one. If you missed any of game number 1, the VOD will be up pretty shortly after this. You need to go back and watch it because that was absolutely probably the best game we've seen across the whole of the Pro League, specifically in Europe, at least anyway. Talk me through it. I need a minute.
Hey, we saw Obey come out flying, right? They took that first map 5-4. They were having a rough time of it. It was definitely close, but they managed to close it out. And we thought, maybe this is new Obey. Maybe they've broken the curse. We go to the next map. They're 4-3 up, series point, about to win their first series in 2 quarters. Disconnect. That's Obey's bad luck coming in right there. Go into that round 9. Lose it all on a last-minute play. Literally 249 to 249. And Zorkos, I had to look back just now. It was Zorkos that flew in, got a double kill on the other home hill, managed to clean up for his team and get the decap. They lose that one. They go to Vasgar, Obey. They get smashed around by Regal Reserve. Physics with some fantastic headshots comes in, makes some plays, takes some points, and Regal Reserve, they were your victors.
Crazy. But let's concentrate on this one. We've got Elevate going up against Rated R. Let's talk about our champions from last season. Let's talk about Elevate. They online are dominant in Europe, absolutely dominant. And time again, we just see them overcoming any obstacle. But then when we sent them over to Mexico, we sent them over towards San Diego. Disappointing results each time.
Disappointing. I had the, I don't know if it's a luxury or not, to be able to watch these guys against Fire and Ice. I was actually stood on the feature station with them whilst they were playing. And quite honestly, they made the mistake of playing a Latin American team on Exhibit. They really did. Elevate think they're good at Exhibit. Latin American teams are good at Exhibit. They're very good. And in the end, it went right down to the wire. In fact, Elevate, they were 4v5. Hydron got eliminated. And they were almost clutching it up, if not for a rogue incendiary that came through and shut down their hopes. But they played well, but their placement, quite honestly, didn't reflect that. And Fire and Ice, well, they shut them down, but they also shut down UYU as well afterwards. I don't really think this is something we should reflect on Elevate for because, honestly, Fire and Ice were on fire. And Elevate, they were on the unlucky side of it.
They were. But I think when I spoke to Krim this week, he said one of their issues is translating what we're doing online to LAN, and that we need to make that adaptation going over there. But a team who did make the adaptation well was Rated R. They managed a top 8 placement. Yep. Which we said was good for them. And, again, I repeating myself, but when I spoke to Marsh through the week, he turned around and said, we were happy but not satisfied. Do you think this team, this Rated R squad, can go further than that?
I think so. I think they got a tough bracket, to be quite honest with you.
They
came up against...
EU teams always get a tough bracket over there, mate. Let's not get it twisted.
But you got to look at what kind of tough bracket they had. Rated R came up against the second place team. They're from the San Diego event, and the first place team. They managed to beat one and came very close to beating the second. I don't think we've seen the best of Rated R just yet. I think they've got more to come, and I think they can improve. I think they know they can improve, and I think they can actually break that top 4 if they get the right run.
Ever since Marshall's come in this team, it just seems to they were always sort of, from week number 1, when we see in Rated R, formerly Anony, was it? And yeah, they were just... They just flew in every single gunfight, and that's what I've always liked about them. Dragons flying in, Banes flying in consistently. You bring in somebody like Marsh, who, although he does have the talent, he does have that pace, he has a bit more of experience, a bit more sense behind him to sort of say, right, okay, when should we make these pushes, etc., etc. He's the leader who can dictate how this team plays, and he just seems to be the glue that is... He's been the catalyst, if anything, for this team to propel them into one of the best teams in the world, and a team that can cause problems to anybody. But let's have a look at the picks and bans while we continue to wax lyrical about this squad. Will be Training Grounds banned out first by Rated R. No surprises there. Icebound then gone from Elevate. Elevate then managing to pick Bunker. Vasgar coming in for Rated R. That's a bit of a curveball, I feel, from them. Asylum going, no surprises there. District going. We will see ourselves on Exhibit if we get to map number 3, which I don't know if I love for Rated R, but if they can win the first 2 maps, then it doesn't matter. In a perfect world.
I think that's how you got to look at it if you are Rated R. I don't see Rated R beating Elevate here on Exhibit, to be honest with you. Last time they played, Elevate absolutely floored them on it.
It was a while ago. I think it was maybe their first...
It was their first meeting, and it was right at the beginning of that winter quarter, so yes, there's definitely time between now and then, but I honestly don't think that Rated R are at that level on Exhibit. The other 2 maps, though, definitely so. Rated R had a fantastic series against Estral, and one of the maps they did it on was that Bunker. So they'll be happy with that pick. They won't mind Bunker at all. Yeah. And they look very strong on that all through Mexico. And then Vasgar, that's the map they played first against Reciprocity, actually, in that quarterfinal matchup. And in that matchup, they did look strong. And as I said earlier, they had a couple of mistakes that they made, but without those mistakes, could have been in a very, very, advantageous position against the best team in the game.
Yeah.
I don't think they're looking at this map as a 2-1 the other way. I think they're looking at, we'll close this out in 2. This is a good series for Rated R if they can get off the bat quick.
If I remember rightly as well, when Rated R played up against Reciprocity, wasn't a Bunker they took off them?
Yes. Yeah, it was. Actually, it was. You're correct.
Gears caster, I wasn't even there. So I mean, look, these are 2 decent maps for Rated R coming out of the blocks, and they're a team who, I mean, they inflicted the only loss. Top of my head, I mean, they beat Elevate first time round in the very first game of the fall quarter, of course. So could it happen again? I honestly wouldn't surprise me. Would I put more stock into a win now for Rated R than I did back then? Absolutely. I think this is a big game for them coming in to the spring quarter for the Gears Pro League here in Europe. Of course, Bunker, Vasgar, Exhibit is what we're going to see. Bunker, of course, is an Elevate pick, so maybe they're just like, yeah, you beat Reciprocity on this, watch this. I don't know, but I don't know what it is about Elevate Online in Europe. They just seem to have everybody's number every single time. And I still feel like I'm siding with them. I'm going to go 2-1 Elevate. I think Rated R do take one of these maps. But I don't think they take Exhibit.
I have to go against that slightly. As much faith.
Are you going to say 2-0? Oh, you're going to say 2-0.
I'm going to say 2-0 Elevate. I haven't seen them lose a map in the whole of the Winter Pro. They lost a couple, back in that fall quarter. But quite honestly, Elevate have looked phenomenal in Europe. We're in Europe. We're online again. I can't see Elevate losing this one. And I can't see them losing a map.
Well, let's find out if you're right. Are we going to have as a crazy game as we had last time round, or is it going to be same old for Elevate? On board with Crimson's yet. Jackfax is the first one to find the kill as well. And Crimson's for me. Best player in Europe right now, do you think?
Definitely in Europe. I wouldn't say, on the global stage, definitely not.
Oh, no, of course.
But as in, out of the European teams on the global stage, definitely not. But online, 100%. He had a fantastic quarter, and I'm definitely excited to see if he can continue that.
Well, the initial break did go in Rated R's favor. They do have the points lead, but Elevate, in the end, do get control where they need to. Everybody back up now after a couple of gunfights go Elevate's way. They will tick up that score very, very quickly, but Marsh and Pains getting moving over towards B. We can already see in the mini-map as well. Both teams are posturing over towards this B side. It is going to be Rated R with control of up top Bunker as well, so the Lancer Fire will rain on through. That's helped them in this gunfight as well. Plenty of players dropping. 2 players from Elevate now backing on down and sent the respawn. Cube make that 3, so Rated R bite back here. They will get a hold of B, and they're flying through here as well. Dragons has actually got a kill on the Jackfax. They trade the kills away. That's momentarily 3 dead here, so Rated R getting to the races. They're heading over towards A. They have decapped, and Rated R, I tell you what, they love around number 1. It's looking like they may take it here. Kills coming in their favor, but Strikers is going to get dropped. Can Elevate hold on? Marsh drops his former teammate Phelpsy, but if anything, I think Rated R may just have to back on down here. Marsh just keeps on going. He's done so well to decap that, in fairness. maybe just has let them extend that lead that little bit further. Nicely played by Marsh, but in the end, Elevate do hold on.
Yeah, and there is going to be a fight at this B hill as well afterwards for this neutral hill. And Rated R, they've managed to send resources over there quickly enough to be able to defend this. Jack's oh so weak. Didn't get this kill. This is huge. Slazen maybe pushing up a little bit too much though. Jack gets that down. Jack's going to turn around as well. Gets down himself. Striker should clean this one. It's Dragons that does get the kill. But this is a good defense so far from Rated R. And they've done enough, to be honest with you, just to fall back on this one hill. So even if Elevate do cap this, as long as they can get hold of either the A hill, which it looks like they will be able to. If they can get this kill, they'll fly to the A. In fact, they should be flying till the A hill anyway, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they just need to go. They don't need to. They don't need to contest this fight.
Yeah,
they can just disappear, and that's what they started to do. Yeah, even if they don't get much further, they've made the team chase them, and now suddenly Rated R just have to defend all on their own. Really well played by them.
Remaining.
Yeah, it should be done.
No, we do.
Nah, don't. You're doubting me now. You're doubting me now.
I am. I can never trust you anymore. I did see a member of Elevate's flanking all the way around the back of the spawn, and it had shades of Regal Reserve on that, but they weren't there quite in time.
Not
Good
quite in time.
Rated R.
Yeah, Rated R. Take that one. And you know, I think it was just a good. It's that initial good fight back at B. They lose the very initial gunfight, and then they come back, win a big team fight of their own, and walk away with B, and then from there they just controlled the round. But smoke grenade's going to go down on the side of Elevate, whereas a loadout flash goes in for Rated R.
Yep, and this was something I was talking to Rated R about actually in Mexico, was their transition to picking up this utility spawn as quick as possible. And I've noticed, and you know, they've confirmed this as well, that they're trying to put a lot of stock in those opening utilities in the first couple of rounds to try and really get off the bat quick.
I mean, it's what they love, don't they?
Building, yeah, they don't care about building up those home weapons so much as if we can keep going with these utility, with these Boltox, we can get enough of a lead that once we get to those more even fights with those weapons either side, it's not going to matter too much because we can grind that out.
And it makes sense, doesn't it? You know, they're a team who you think about these initial gunfights. They win them more often than not, don't you? These big team fights right now do excel in. They have excelled here. They maybe don't have the score lead, but they've got control of the map. They then drop back to A. They will have the 2-cap lead now, and they will get that lead fairly quickly. You can see now Elevate going to have to come back off spawn and going to have to work their way through. But Rated R with a good start here. I like that from them. They win the gunfights at the beginning. They've dropped Hydro, and they've dropped Crimsons as well. And they just keep going. Dragons doesn't let go of his jockey button, just keeps on sprinting. Marsh is going to find Phelpsy though, and Jack is going to be able to answer back with one against Slazen. What does Jack choose to do? He goes down as well. Marsh is going to find one. So a really good play out of Rated R here. They're well in control.
They are well in control, but you got to look at something quickly. Strikers is on his last life already. He's on one remaining. That for me is actually quite rough to say we're in the second round of the first half.
And now he has to think about that for the rest of the game.
Yeah, exactly. You've had those low respawns. There's a kill. One more shot. That's an easy one by Marsh. That's lovely. He always is in. I mean, that's not lovely. You shouldn't have pushed forward after you got that kill. You should have pushed back. But he's always in those positions to try and find an easy kill, a quick kill, hiding in little corners, whether it's behind a box, behind a wall. He always seems to find one. And that's one of the things that makes him a good player. Even if he does the stupid push afterwards and pushes into 2, he's only traded himself 1 for 1. So if he manages to get 2, fantastic, even better.
Well, Jack is able to find Dragons as he rolled through maybe a little bit overzealously. And the problem is here, if you're Rated R, you do have that crutch of Strikers being in this position where you can't really influence too much. And Jack just causing all sorts of problems there. Pains and Slacy dropping down. Really, really good play out of Jack, and you can tell, look, they're hunting for Strikers. They know. They're trying to get rid of him up top. Swarm wind condition pops on through. Rated R looking to get control of A, at least. B is not necessarily going to go in their favor as easily. And Jack up top just putting the pain down into Marsh. He's going to have to back on down. Is he going to have enough health? Not quite. Elevate are going to get control of B here. But looking towards it. I think, is it going to go over towards them just about? It's a very, very slim win condition, but it is one that belongs to Elevate.
Yeah. A decap will probably turn this for Rated R if they can find one, but that's the question, right? Where do you find it? It looks like they're maybe looking. They saw C and they've backed off very quickly, so now the rotation is going to come through. The push is here. They got to make sure that no one from Elevate pushes across bunker. And if I'm Elevate, that's what I'm doing straight away. I'm running straight across, finding my way through. Dragons has found a kill here on Phelps. And now, Rated R, they're trying to lock in a second. Yeah, they've managed to get B in 5 seconds is all I'm take. That's a great kill from Marsh. And Rated R, they're going to lock in too.
I love like that from them. They just basically get one kill and throw 3 bodies onto B and Elevate aren't ready for it. They're protecting a push from a different direction, maybe towards one of the home hills, and in the end, Elevate are just caught napping a little bit, if anything.
Definitely so. Great play by Rated R. Exactly what you want. And now you can see there's the second utility coming in, and this is what we're talking about. They like to go early on these utility grenades, even so much as just going 1-2. First 2 spawns. Doesn't matter what's happening. Let's get those loadout options in. On the other side, though, Elevate, they're going to take those incendiary grenades. They're going to try and push some kills over at that neutral hill fight. And that's going to be an interesting one going into these latter rounds, because if Elevate then decide to put a big weapon down at that B hill, at the artillery, they've got all the weaponry to try and win that fight.
And back into it once again. As I said, these flash grenades really do help this initial fight, but can Rated R find anything with it? Pains is going to drop Jack, laying him there as bait, if anything, to try and lure somebody else in. Marsh is eventually going to clean that one up. 18-6 against his old team here. And if I remember rightly, he had a poor performance when they played them most recently in the winter quarter. And really big for him if you could try and find a really good showing here. It's something he really will want to do, especially in sort of the circumstances. You know, it was left a little bit sour, if I remember rightly. But wait, there we go. Dragons can't really prepare for that one as Crimson's sticks the end on it. Dragons will only stop running forward when he dies. He's now going to be down to 1 respawn as well. On the other side of things, Crimson's down to 1 respawn for Elevate, as is Hydron. So plenty of lives, actually. If anything, it's pretty even. It's pretty even across the board. I tell you, that doesn't help. Those Pains takes down Slazin. Will find Hydron as well, but only a drop. Here comes the push through from the rest of Elevate, cleaning them up. Pains is going to go down. Not contributing much, if anything, at all there for his team. Crimson's is going to back on down A and B in control of Elevate.
That's it. Got that team kill on his teammate, and didn't manage to clean up the down he had either. So definitely a negative play there by Pains, and he got caught in the end. He got caught on the ladders. Got taken out, but realistically, if you're Rated R in this position, you win this 3rd round, and you got to think, Rated R, they're probably going to take the map. But a couple of bad plays like this, and a couple of good plays by Elevate, going to lock in this B hill once again. And now they're starting to take that lead, and you know, 50 points now is not horrendous, but it's what it's going to grow into, right? It's going to grow into a 100-point lead in just a few seconds' time, and that's difficult to come back from.
And there's a lot of them only on 1 respawn at this moment in time as well. I think it's something you got to think of this final round. This could very easily turn to 2-2. If Rated R aren't careful, it's looking like it's going to be at least 2-1. More kills going to come on through. Strikers goes down. The elimination ticks on through. 2-1 now. Elevate with a very comfortable round in the end. But you know, I think if you're Rated R, you are in this game. You're in this game in that round, sorry, I should say, the whole way through. And just a little bit unfortunate, you know, you win that one gunfight where Pains manages to kill his own teammate. I think that's maybe a little bit of a different story, but it's unfortunate if you're Rated R. But Elevate will take that round all day long, building towards some weapons as well. For all that Rated R are working on getting a hold of their loadouts, of course, and getting a hold of those flashes in every single fight. Elevate will be working on some powerful weapons to help them deal with Rated R.
That's the one. That's what Rated R have got to be careful from. You saw in the opening last round, that incendiary got that kill on Dragons and really did shut him down. If you keep, you know, being so far behind on these deadly, these lethal weapons, it is going to be harder and harder as the round goes on to really keep up. And you got to make sure you win in these early rounds. So for Rated R, this round is really a key round.
Yep, 3-1 at the half would leave you feeling pretty nice. And I mean, Pains has just ran on through. How has Jack got away? Phelpsy and Crimson's will be dropped. Pains, that's fantastic from you. Over towards that. Surely he's not going to find another Jack as well. He might have just buttered him up enough for Dragons, though. Can he clean it up? Not quite. Jack's still going now. Dragons has choked. In the end, he will find Jack. Maybe a little bit later than he would have liked to, but Rated R get the breaks. They'll push back. They'll get a hold of B. But look at the control coming in from Elevate. They want top bunker control to themselves. Crazed is here, lancering away. And through all of this, after all the lives that have been lost, Crazed still has 4 out of 4 respawns.
Yeah. That's the question, isn't it? When is Crazed ever going to be down to 0? I've never seen him get down to 0, personally. But you never know. Could be a time. Flashbang coming out from Crazed as they start to make this push here now on B Hill. Strikers got himself out of a bad spot there. And Rated R, they're doing well to match the aggression here of Elevate. Elevate are trying to push on 2 fronts. Do we go towards the A hill? Do we go towards the B hill? And it's difficult to track through that bottom, that bottom tunnel, through the bottom route, unless you've got those spots. So it really is key that Rated R are keeping track of everyone from Elevate because they need to be able to put the right numbers in the right place. Right now, we're seeing a 4v4 down at this bottom area, this artillery area. And Crimson's, he's going to get that decap.
Decap comes through and the rest of Elevate are here to fight for as well, but as already know, the shot's going to come on through. Crimson's maybe a little bit fortunate with that shot there, just a fade away to try and get away. Slazen is going to find him though, but the fight continues. Slazen here with his teammate Dragons, who has been so influential for this team all the way through, can't quite do anything, and they just get caught between a rock and a hard place. This will be Elevate getting control of B, but the lead still with Rated R. Won't be for long though. Phelpsy is going to get a hold of this insend once again for Elevate. And they're in a really good spot to make this 2-2 now.
Yep, 100%. And if you're Rated R at this point, you got to do a little bit more trying to push fights elsewhere. You're getting run around the map a little bit by Elevate. At this point, Elevate, they're dragging you to your home. If you're Rated R, you got to try and find a way to break that. Find a way through. Maybe get to their home. Maybe, you know, start to put the pressure on them a little bit rather than going into this defensive turtle. Because what it's done is you've lost one fight and now you've lost complete control of the map. B hill is on the other hand. You're getting killed by incendiaries. Crazed has got complete control over his home hill, and realistically, if you're Rated R, you're probably going to lose this one unless you come out with a fantastic play.
Not going to happen. Far too many members dropping right now. I know I've called a couple early today for this one is definitely going over towards Elevate. 2-2 now. And you know we said it after the first round went in Elevate's favor. This could very easily be 2-2 quickly. And it comes through and 6 through quite nicely. Marsh 21 and 10. Plenty of interactions out of him, but maybe throwing a few lives to the wind there on occasion. Rated R, and I don't want to say it's ultimately their downfall, but definitely didn't help.
No, definitely not now. And these incendiaries, they are coming into play a little bit here over, by this artillery. Whilst the fight's down there, they're so difficult to dodge and get out the way of that Rated R, you might even want to start thinking about moving that fight up towards the bunker a little bit earlier. However, not this round. Yeah, for me, like if you go into that second round, you've got your 2 wins on the board. You've got your 2 utility grenades out. What are your utility grenades there for? They're there to help you fight an initial, right? So what better than put the initial in a place where the other team doesn't have their incendiaries to help fight? Exactly. They either go get them and they're out the way, or they hold them for that home street fight. And either way, they're kind of neutralized. So I think for Rated R, maybe at this point, it might be a bit too brash putting a big weapon down at the E hill, but you got to start to think of these things, as you push up the echelons of gears and try and push those top teams. You want to play your way. Rated R at the moment, they are playing Elevate's way.
Well, campaigns can get going here from up top. They do have control. They've got E, they've got F. Look at Elevate in the top right corner. You can see where their eyes are set, and that's a push through towards F. Now, if you're Rated R, if you had this X-ray cam, you would be doing exactly what I would want to do, and that's a push through towards D, but Elevate have faked it a little bit. They're going to back on down. Rated R seem aware of what's going on here. Well positioned. Hard for Elevate to break this one down. They tried to sell them a dummy, if anything, but there's 2 below and bottom side of bunker. All Rated R here quick enough to match this push coming out of Elevate in a second. They're ready to go.
I think if you're Paige, you got to be so careful. He's getting shot. He's obviously the play, right? He's getting shot from that side bunker. Craig's trying to get the decap here, but he's getting shot from all angles. They're just keeping his head down. Payne's now moving up into a bit of a safer spot. And this is a better spot for him right here. He's got full angle.
He can't really do much from here, but if anything, it is Elevate the ones that have to move.
And now, if you're Rated R, do you fight this? Do you push round? Do you go through that mid street? There was a very small chance, a small window there.
Oh, here comes the flash. They're pushing in on the second time.
yeah, potentially got control of the tunnel, but in the end, they stay, they fight, they lose to Elevate, who are cleaning up here. Jack's got everything. Marsh should be down as well in a second.
Yeah, in a horrible, horrible spot. He's going to go down too. And that secondary fight, it just seemed as if that they let them get control. Radar buttered them up, threw the flashes in, but only one person went for that second fight. So one win condition taking on up now. They'll win off a 2-cap here. Radar currently getting very little from this 1-cap at home. Shots coming through. It's all Elevate. It's all Elevate in the kill feed. Jack's going to get picked up. Marsh is going to go down too. The elimination ticks on through. Very, very nicely done by Elevate in the end. And it was just clinical, wasn't it? Didn't really make any mistakes whatsoever, and Rated R just not finding the fights they were in the first 2 rounds.
Rated R needs to be more proactive in those situations, is my take from that. They allow Elevate to come up with a plan. And we know Elevate, they can craft a plan, they craft a good plan at times, and honestly, a lot of the time, it works for Elevate, right? They come through, they manage to take these rounds, and for teams in Europe specifically, they need to be making Elevate's plans null and void at the time they make them. So, oh, we're trying to make a play up in here. Let's move, Rated R, shift round towards that D hill, just put your resources elsewhere. Make Elevate think on their feet a little bit more rather than getting time to craft plays. Snipers and M-bars down though this time around.
So something for Rated R to work with outside of the loadout flash grenades. They found the first 2 kills here as Hydron and Jack go down. And the smoke will help them get a hold of E, hopefully for them. Pains will get a hold of that and be able to hold this. And you know what? For the most part, Rated R have actually got a hold of these, of the neutral hill first. And they actually might get a hold of all 3 yet. Domination's ticking on through. Payne's trying his best to support the fight here as they just keep it on going. But if you're Rated R, if you push and you be aggressive there, you need to win the gunfights. They'd lose 2 of them and have to back on down.
Yep, just fighting too aggressively. Once again, if you win that fight, sure. If you lose it, what happens? You lose strikers. You're going to lose Paynes now. You're going to lose your home hill. Now it's, what, a 1v4 on this E hill for the round? That's not what you want. But if you Elevate, this is fantastic, though. They clean up Marsh. They get this E hill. They're putting them in a really good situation here to go up 4-2.
They're in a good spot. Phelpsy and Co sitting up top here, and it's so hard to run into. When Elevate can set up, it's so hard to break. It's so hard. Their team Lancer Fire is phenomenal. That's what, like, I mean, half the time, like, the KDs seem inflated because they're all contributing. They're all contributing to nearly every single gunfight that anyone is in. And they're so good at this. They're so good at just choking you in your own spawn. Rated R are going to be able to break on through, and it is going to be a push over towards F. Thankfully for them, they do still have a lead, but the win condition does belong to Elevate as the push comes through towards F. Which way is this one going to go? It's a big fight in the grand scheme of things. Marshall's going to get dropped, though. I don't think he's going to get picked back up either as Hydron sends him to the respawn queue. The fight's going to continue. Dragons does find one, but will get dropped, as does Slazin. Dragons dropped once again, and then picked up for a meat shield. Really well defended by Elevate. Nope. Oh, no. That is unfortunate.
That really was. Climb up a ladder to meet 2 shotguns at the top of it. Honestly, that was great defense from Elevate. They got the damage in. They knew exactly how many members Rated R had on that push. They just had the resources in the right place to defend it. If Rated R get that first kill, perhaps there's an opening. But honestly, a fight that extends longer than 5-6 seconds for Rated R, it's a lost fight. They should have backed out quicker.
Payne's now setting up for another push towards F. Does he need to help his team over towards E, though, as Elevate? The win condition belongs to them, but I tell you what, Strikers has found 2 kills yet.
One more kill.
There we go. Crimson's is going to find up. Payne's has got to go, but look at somebody lingering here. It's going to be Hydro, gets the first shot in. Dragons is going to go down as well. That might be enough. That might be enough for Elevate to hold on to this one.
Yep, there is someone on the home hill as well. On the opposite side, they've managed to sneak through. I don't know who that is.
The fact that
home hill, it's Phelpsy.
This situation, they dominate in the end to win that round. I know Rated R would have realized that it was over, but it's the extension. It's the thinking one step ahead at every single point from Elevate that just wins them that round. Phenomenal from them. 4-2 now.
Yep, and this should be it. This should be it for Elevate. They should be able to close this one out here. They've got those incendiaries. The M-bars in hand as well. They've been winning these fights, and they've been playing them out better. They deserve to be up now 4-2. They have been the team that has been making the proactive plays. They have been making some fantastic plays like that at the end. It's not flashy. It's not amazing, but it's clever. They wait for Rated R to just go too aggressive, get too over themselves, basically, try and push towards the home hill, and an easy sneak cap. This should be 5-2 Elevate if they can continue this pace.
4-2 now, as said. And I think you're very right. If they can continue this pace, they should be able to win this one. Here we go.
That loadout option is going to come in as well, the Boltok.
Oh, Boltok working out, actually. Crazed is going to find strikers.
That's actually the bar as well.
Oh my word. It's an absolute massacre down lower bunker side. What's going to come out of it, though? Jack is going to find one. His teammate will find the second. Jack's done so well. He's played fantastic from what I see. 40 and 11 right now out of Jack.
Yeah. 4.0 KDA on screen, 40 and 11. And you know what? Give him the credit is due. He had an amazing event in Mexico. He was the best player on Elevate by a country mile. A full mile as well. Not one of those kilometer things. A country mile.
Yeah, we don't.
Fantastic. And he's brought that back home. 40 and 11. He doesn't do anything objective-wise, 2-0, but he doesn't need to. His team are winning.
Jack and Co now in a commanding position. And you're right, he's steadily just been getting better, hasn't he? Ever since his introduction. I mean, yes, okay, he came in towards the back end of Gears 4 and everyone was like, oh, who's this Jack guy? But as time has went on in Gears 5, he really has developed into his own little player. We've always said he's been consistent. And that he has been, but he's consistently getting better. Right now, though, Rated R looking for a route back into this round. They may have found one. F8 in their control. A couple of kills coming in from Slazen, who's not having a good game. It's 18 and 14 right now. Rated R, they win the first 2 rounds. Yeah, I know. They would be. He's going to find that one at the Crimsons.
He's done well, though.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well to survive, and that might just be the catalyst for a round for Rated R here. And it's all because of Slazen finding a couple of kills.
That's it. Double kill in the mid. Managed to save his teammate. That's exactly what I want from Slazen. And Slazen is one of those players that he has up and down games, right? Sometimes he's fantastic, sometimes he's trash. Today, he's a bit in the middle, but he's got time to work this one out. They need to stop Hydro trying to get in here and getting the kill. He might get the decap if he's quick. Not able to. Phelpsy teeing off with his Boltok. Isn't able to kill here. Craze, he's going to get taken out as well. And Cog, they have the chance to come back here. They have the chance to win. 35 seconds all they need. They need to stop Phelpsy getting this decap. They lost this way on bunker before. In fact, it was Obey Alliance, I believe it was. Lost this way, just letting that decap come in under their nose. Rated R, they're letting it happen as well. The less points you have against Elevate, the less likely to win. It's Gears, it's obvious, it's true. You can't let Elevate just hold on this decap because you know at the last minute they're going to make a play that's going to make you pay.
It's Phelpsy that's in the position, isn't he? He's just in such a better spot, a lot more cover to just make the push. While this engagement goes on, he's going to push on forward to try and help the rest of his team who are dead. Everybody dropping here. Rated R have actually managed to win this gunfight. Saying that, Phelpsy's going to find one. If they can continue this push as well, it'll be looking good for them. Phelpsy drops back. He will get a hold of E, but the time. I'm just looking, is it going to be enough on a 2-cap to catch up to this one? I think it will be, or will it? Yes, it will. Just about crazed now.
If they get the decap, that's the question. They can't let them get the decap. They've got the decap. This should be Swarm. Got the kills. Even if they lock it in now, Elevate, they're going to go up. They're going to win this one. They're going to take this one 5-2. It doesn't matter. They can get all the kills in the world. Elevate, they've timed it to perfection. They got the points. They got the win. 5-2. Continuing their unbeaten streak.
They just keep it going, don't they? Even when doubt is in your mind. It was in my mind after the first 2 rounds through that maybe they weren't going to go undefeated, but wow, that was impressive from them. Phenomenal performance out of Elevate, a 5-2 win on Bunker, and that sets them up very, very nicely in this series.
It does indeed. It does indeed. That was the start that they needed in this Pro League. They had the toughest match coming into this out of all the teams, I guess, apart from Rated R. And they have to start with a bang. They have to go out on fire. They take it 5-2. Quite honestly, we said Rated R, they had it, but they can't let that decap come in the middle. If you get the decap in the middle, you're wasting time. You're giving time for Elevate to make that plan. So also, you're not extending your lead anymore. You're just staying flat. Elevate, they made them pay.
Yeah, they did. They just made them pay. And I think, it was a really good start by Rated R on that final round as well, but just couldn't get anything going from that point. As you said, though, they were just maybe a little bit too, what's the word I want to use? They they weren't proactive by any stretch of the imagination. They got what they had and they sort of just went a bit lackadaisical and said, well, that's enough. But you were very right. When we seen it at the point you mentioned, Elevate just wait. And they just wait for the moment where it becomes to the point where 2-cap will do for them. And it's so hard for Rated R then to answer back. They do that. They win the gunfights. It looked like Rated R may have won that gunfight initially. But in the end, there you go. It is done. And it will be an Elevate win and map number 1. Looking good for them before we head over towards Vasgar once again. What do you think? I'm just going to move to a different topic, if anything, is like, what do you think the biggest problem is online? What do you think it is? Do you think it's just translating what they do online, or do you think it's adapting is the biggest problem, as we already discussed? Yeah.
For me, it's a bit of a big fish in a small pond syndrome right here. They think they're very good at certain things because they are consistently performing, but they're performing against a group of teams that realistically aren't the same level as your X Reciprocity, your Fire and Ice, that kind of level teams. Not Fire and Ice, sorry, your Pittsburgh Knights. So when they come up against the kind of lesser teams, I guess, in other regions, they expect them to be of the level of Regal Reserve, the level of Obey Alliance, but they're not. They're at the level of, Rated R. They have potential to beat Elevate. And for me, it's honestly a bit about respect. It's a little bit about being very careful about what you're picking, what you're playing against teams that, are outside of your region. Yes, we know that Elevate are the best team on exhibit in Europe. 100%. There's no doubt about that. But they don't really have the testament to be able to say that against other teams. So maybe they're going a little bit blind, whereas the rest of the American teams, even the Latin American teams, they play each other a lot more, it seems, on a much fairer setting. So they kind of understand each other a little bit more. But for me, honestly, it's all about, you have to hit your shots at the end of the day. You have to translate it. You have to be careful with what you're playing as well. In the end, it was a matter of lives that cost Elevate their series over in Mexico. They lost Hydro and they lost Ben to, it was a good kill from Fire and Ice, but realistically, they should never have been in the situation where, Hydron could have been killed. And for me, that's a situation we haven't seen Elevate in before, is they're pushed to the wire. They've got no lives left. How do they perform at that point?
And that's the problem.
Their 5v5 game at that point was not good. Their 4v5 was a hell of a lot better. Crazed, after Hydron got taken out, did a lap basically around exhibit, got about 4 kills back to back, was in the spawn, killing Fire and Ice over and over and over again. In the end, though, 4v5, it's so difficult, right? And that's all it was.
It's difficult. But I think you're right what you're saying before we start map number 2 is that, losing is learning, and Elevate don't do a lot of losing. That's maybe the problem over online, and it's not their fault. That's the thing. They're not going to turn up and start playing badly so they can have some rough competition. They play as well as they can online, and they're very, very good against all these teams. They're fantastic against these teams, and some of the Gears of War they come out with is phenomenal. But it needs to go back to that, potentially trying to scrim teams in North America, trying to get as much practice as you can against teams in North America for them to get better. The only experience they're getting right now is a couple of games. Because sometimes, when you're going through Swiss, you're playing against teams who are of lesser opposition and probably are of like the same sort of level as like Obey, like Regal. Whereas then you go into the bracket play and the learning curve is steep. It seems to be anyway. It's like, all right, we're playing these teams who we know we can play against well. We know we can win these games. But then suddenly you're going up against elite level teams and you're not prepared for it potentially. So, yeah, maybe it's an adaptation thing. Maybe it's a case of they need more time against these teams. And I look, we're saying all this, but we know it's hard to scrim overseas. It is very difficult to scrim over the Atlantic. I played the game so much at the beginning when it came out. Even me I ain't a good Gears player by any stretch of the imagination, but 120 ping is difficult. It's very difficult to play on. So, it's one of these things that you just have to, they're going to have to figure it out somewhere or another. Just move to America. Solve the problem. There you go. Uproot your life.
That's it. Boot camp.
Yeah.
Boot camp over there. I think as well, you gotta look at it, like the player base over here is a lot smaller as well.
Yeah.
So you have to basically say, okay, even our top 5, they're top 5 out of how many players, right? Out of what pool? And how many players of that level do they have to play against? It's definitely it's a multitude of issues. But at the end of the day, San Diego, Elevate lost to Regal, right? So it wasn't even about the it wasn't even about the American teams or the Latin American teams. In fact, Elevate, they've not been knocked out by an American team yet. It's all about, you know, the international teams, the Latin Americans and the Europeans that won. So we'll see how it goes as we go forward.
I know.
We can talk about this for days.
Oh, we could. I see Rubik's in the chat saying, yeah, it is the time zones. It's massive. It's massive for everybody in terms of, you know, if you got work in the morning. Yeah, that's actually a good point. As their reaction just put in, this lockdown that the UK is about to go into, that should sort things. You don't need to get up for work in the morning now. It's absolutely fine. As we do load now into Vasgar. This lockdown will be the catalyst for Elevate to start tearing things up at LAN. Well, no, that resumes, but yeah, here we go.
I was just one last point. I was talking to the TC guys in Mexico actually. They were like, "What can we do?" I said, "Put a server cluster on an oil rig in the middle of the ocean, and then we can have fair ping between regions, between East Coast and Europe." They said no, but I tried.
Oh, they said no. Oh, god damn it, TC.
I tried.
You tried. Try harder next time, yeah.
Anyway. That'd be a solution.
Pains and Co though need a map here. Vasgar has typically not been horrible for them. I want to say for rated R. Well, what can they get done against Elevate? It's a very different beast. They're currently in control. They have ANC. It's the tactic that we've seen OB go with last time round, whereas rated R have been relegated just holding B. But here we go. The push over towards A comes through. It's brute force from rated R. We know they like these round number ones. Not liking it right now. Those 2 or 3 go down. Make that nearly everybody. Grace is trying to clean up though. Jack eventually does get taken down. A is the only thing that's left for rated R. Grace is just trying to stay alive as best he can, going up against Marsh. Marsh deals with him in the end. But is it just a formality in this round?
I think it might be. Marsh is definitely getting taken out here. We are going to see this A hill locked up once again, and the lead is definitely in Elevate's favor here as 52 points. Looking very, very strong. Fight going down out the other side, down at this B hill. It's on the back of the tank at the moment. We are seeing, at the moment, Slazin managed to get 1 kill. Slazin's going to get taken down by Craze, though, at the other side. Crimson's going to come back in support as well as his team. They are going to fight on. They are going to try and find more kills. Strikers is going to go down. Just get revived very, very quickly, but some very accurate Lancer fire coming in from Rated R here.
It's just consistent, isn't it?
Strikers.
Just consistent from Elevate. The Lancer fire is so hard to deal with, and on this map where there's so much open space, so many different angles you can pick. I couldn't think of many better teams that would be able to do that than Elevate, specifically here in Europe, at least anyway. But here we go. Phelps, he's going to go down. Hydron finds 2. Crazed then adds a 3rd. There's a 2 for 3 fight in the favor of Elevate, so we will continue to control this map and control this round. C is now being decapped. The domination doesn't even need to come through. Marsh now stuck between a rock and a hard place. Will find Crimson's on his way down and on the way out of this round. Elevate will take this one 1-0 now.
Yep. In the end, Rated R, they decided that they're just not going to spawn back in, and I think that's a wise choice. Everyone on Rated R down to about 2 lives remaining already. Obviously, they're going to get 1 back at the end of that round, so now they're on 3. But that life economy is something that you've got to be careful of. You've got to be very, very careful of.
Well, there we go. First weapon placement coming in. Do Rated R go with something different this time round instead of the loadout? Or do they stick to their guns? Or do they go with a gun? Who knows? Nope, loadout is what they're going to go with. Utility grenades for paints to try and step it up in this initial gunfight. Is that the right choice for you on this map? I think this is one of the maps where it's a bit of a weirder one, isn't it? It's not all about this big fight in the middle.
Personally, I prefer the Boltok out of the the 2 utility options. I don't really care too much for the extra flash. At least not in the opening fights. You can get a lot done. But it's up to the teams, right? Whatever they can utilize. Is a stun going to be more effective than a couple of Boltok shots? Who knows? Looks like Rated R, though, they're going to go, at least this time around, for utility.
A and B is in their favor once again, though, but Elevate, after getting C, will make the push over towards A. Such as Vasgar. It's the normal push, and Rated R we're stuck on this. All the flashes coming through. Look at the push coming through. Locking this one down. if you are Elevate, looking good for them, finding the kills, holding it down. They have control of the map.
Yep, that they do. They should get a couple more kills here as well. Rated R, they're stuck all the way back in the spawn. They gotta be very careful. I like this rotation from Elevate though. They're just gonna leave that completely. They know Rated R's come off spawn. They timed it. They got away. They've managed to get the tank hill, the B hill down pretty much scot-free, and that's a very good rotation. What they got to be careful of now is they can't lose the C hill. There's a lot of members over for Rated R. They're going to lock in that A hill, and they're getting the kills here. You can see Crimson's falling. Phelpsy should die as well. Slazen's going to get traded out, so not all doom and gloom for Elevate, but realistically, they now need to turtle over on this B hill because there's no way they're getting their home hill back without the other members coming off spawn.
Hydron and Cold up. The push over towards A is looking like what they fancy. Just posturing here, trying to figure out a way through. Rated R well set up here though, and really good Lancer fire from them. Hydron should be safe to be picked up though, and will get picked up. Shot's going to come through over towards Pains. We can see Rated R well postured here at Airfruit.
Yep, 100%. They are indeed. They've got that point lead, although you see that A hill up and down goes the little indicator as we see Elevate. They're going to get the decap. They're going to try and lock that one in as well, and they're going to win this. Oh, he's going to fall. Got to get out of here as his teammates now, and they're going to rotate all the way around, but they are going to run into a rogue member of Elevate who's just holding ground over the B hill. Actually, it's Phelpsy. Phelpsy's got one. He's going to get taken out by Dragons in the end. The B hill will get taken out, but it's going to be a 2v2 over at the B hill. We've also got a fight here on the A hill. Craze trying his best. Doesn't manage to get that. That's a good kill by Marsh. He might have done enough. Elevate are going to take the lead though, so it's all about this B hill. Who can lock it in? Can they lock it in quick enough?
Who is going to lock it in? It's going to be Rated R.
It looks like Rated R. It looks like Rated R are going to be able to fight this one. Marsh is playing very aggro onto the C hill as well. He's going to get flashed out, going to get pushed up. Putting some pressure on over on this other side. Swarm, they're still going to win in 5 seconds. I don't think anyone's going to get anywhere near it. I think Rated R are going to tie it up.
Nicely done by Rated R, and I really like that out of Marsh in all honesty. He pushes through and just overextends and means Crimsons can't go over to try and help his teammates try and get a hold of that second one. Even the fact that he dies, it doesn't matter. His job is done. The distraction tactic. Over towards C. Nicely done from Marsh. Now, if you're Rated R, what do you got? Once again, is it loadout? Yeah, the flashes go down for Slazen this time. If you're Elevate, you're building stuff over towards the rivals, and the smoke goes down, or a smoke goes down, and then you got a flash next to it as well.
And you're getting 2 grenades off each of those spawns as well, so for the time it takes to go get them, a little bit more of an advantage there to Elevate. We're going to jump on board with Slazen. He's going to push around towards this A hill very, very quickly. Make the Elevate are going to be there to defend.
And he's managed to make the play. Oh, the smoke. It does distract them. It just means Slazen just can't push through. He's just going to get lanced down if he does.
That's it. You just don't know what you're pushing into. You don't know where the opposite team is sitting.
Slazen now having to push over towards this left-hand side. Not going to be able to land anything. The kills going in the favor of, well, all of them going in the favor of Elevate. Phelpsy gets rid of Pain. Slazen here, still bouncing around, just trying to find something. Can't find anything at all. And Dragons is the only one to answer back. He kills Crimson's. Phelpsy now deals with him so easily. The swarm domination is denied as Phelpsy wins that gunfight over towards A. B is actually going to go in the favor of Rated R by the looks of things, but the push now comes in from Elevate. They send everybody over. Phelpsy going to detract away from what's going on. He's trying to make a decision of what to do, and it really just comes down to where you win the gunfights. His team have won one gunfight over there, so he can overextend the C.
Pains with a bit of a brazen push, a bit of a misguided push there as he tries to run into the back of Elevate, but gets met by another member of Elevate. That spawn and Elevate, they're doing their best here to try and fight this one off. Rated R, they have no hills whatsoever right now, so Elevate gaining points. Rated R, they need to capture a hill. It looks like it's going to be that C hill that gets locked in, but now they're 10 points behind, and that's a great play from Elevate just to get the decap, force Rated R to go back to have to cap their home hill, spend a little bit more time behind on these points.
Crimson's go trying to keep them off B. Elevate are the ones in the lead. Kills though, momentarily going in the favor of Rated R. That's 3 men down from Elevate momentarily. They have to back on down and they just have to try and hold A. Thankfully, they will be coming off the spawns pretty sharpish. If you are Elevate, and an overextension over towards C is what's on the cards.
Yep. In the end, actually, we saw Elevates perhaps looking like they were staying a little bit too long, but the extended fight, all that did actually was give the other members of Elevate time to come off spawn, which actually wasn't the worst of things, because you trade basically a 3v5 for a 4v5, and even though you spend a life to get that, it makes more sense than just running off, because you don't allow Rated R to get their legs going, to start moving a little bit. Delays you a little bit, and now there's only a 20-second lead here for Rated R, and one win on one fight could be the end of it for Rated R, could be the end of it for Elevate. Looks like Elevate, though, they're starting to tee off a little bit here with these pistols.
Plenty of shots coming through. Phelpsy and Hydron are cleaning up. Hydron finds a second as well. C is now in the favor of Elevate. The COG team win condition pops up for them. And C will do in 35 seconds to take the win in round number 3. Here comes the domination potentially ticking on through. Slazen is going to make the push back over towards C, though. Crimson's going to have to back on down. They do get a hold of B. They will concede C. Look at the lives already in round number 3 here. Not many more rounds to play with for Rated R. Not many more lives to play with as well. They're just running head first into the fire of Elevate. Hydron and Code getting this one done. Elimination pops on up. Elevate win this one. That is going to be 2-1 now. 3 minutes and 26 seconds, the longest round, and they get it done though. Just to out-rotate and outplay where they need to.
That's it. They found the kills where they needed to get them, and in the end, lives are looking a little bit dire for Rated R, playing on their nerves a little bit as tried to fight back there. Rated R, they had that middle ground. They had the opportunity there to take it, but just couldn't find the kills in the end. Couldn't find their way through. Now the choice is on the map. The incendiaries are going to get locked in once again for Elevate. They seem to go for this as a bit of a staple opener. They like to build up that incendiary as the first weapon they go for. Now, for Rated R, it's their first weapon on the map. It's going to be a flashbang. Got to start small to work your way up, and flashbang by the spawn is what they're going to go for.
Lives reset at the end of the round as we enter the halfway point. Hydron though, he's going to make the push over towards A for the final time in this round, in this half anyway. The points will move after this round. 17 and 6 out of him now. Slow start.
Yeah, not a bad scoreline. That's all. I'm having a quick look at the scoreboard myself. I mean, pretty much everyone. Crimson's is 14 and 4. It's 17 and 5 from Phelpsy. Some fantastic scorelines. That's why the round count's reflective as well. Right now, Elevate up in a lead, but Rated R trying to take it to them here. Hydron, he's going to get taken out as well. Dragons has managed to get a couple of kills. He's going to run off. Going to be able to get this Sea Hill for his reward, perhaps. As Jack's the only member left. Marsh now pushing aggressive. Just get a little bit of a chunk here. We are going to see Elevate fall. A kill or two here or there could be it for Elevate, but Crimson's has found one on Marsh. Now Crimson's trying to find another one. He has got supporting teammates. Strikers, he's going to fall down, and now it's Meat Shield versus Meat Shield as the pistols come out. The weapons do fly. Pistols are going to be enough, I think, for Rated R as they manage to find that kill once again. Crimson's crazed. He finds it down. Jack's going to get taken out once again. And the fight is still continuing here as Dragons, he gets an up A. Crazed now, trying to clean him up. I'm not sure if he can or not. Nope, Dragons is going to take his life as well. Crimson's back off spawn again. And now Rated R, you got to think here. They're doing everything they can, but it's the end of the round. Doesn't matter how many lives Elevate throw at this. As long as Elevate can keep throwing lives at it, they're going to keep trying. But the elimination finally comes in for Rated R, and they're going to tie it up at the half.
Well, that was just daft, wasn't it? Everyone just piling in towards C. We said we'd never seen Crazed on 0 respawns. He actually went to the point where he couldn't respawn there. I think he must have died 2 or 3 times in the last 40 seconds, but there we go. 2 rounds in a row here for Rated R. 2 apiece now. So eventually getting there if you're Rated R.
Yep. Yeah, that's it. I mean,
start, of course, but things starting to work out in the favor of the underdogs here.
We did see this situation in that first game on Bunker. We saw Rated R, they went up 2-0. And then from there, It was all Elevate. This time around, Elevate, they started strong, but they're losing rounds here. They've shed 2 against Rated R. Now it's a 2-2 at the half. And honestly, for Rated R's performance, they're looking all right. I think 2-2 for Rated R at the moment is what they should be expecting from this game. They've looked out a little bit. They've had some good fights. They've had some bad ones. And this looks like another good one here coming through. Some great kills from Dragons. They've not managed to clean up as many people as they needed to. And Marsh might get taken out here. Revive's going to come in from Elevate. Crazed finds a headshot here on Dragons. Pains is going to fall as well. So a great little kill there from Crazed. And the Incendiaries came in. One more from Crazed for the boot. And now he's going to look for his 4th as he's chasing through. He's looking on the D-hill. Strikers. He's going to be the next one, perhaps. Crazed, in the end, the veterancy shows here as he backs up here. Doesn't want to run any further. The hill is what he came for. The hill's what he's got. A flash grenade's going to come out. And now Rated R, they've got to make this push back on D. Elevate, they're backing up here. They might have stayed too long. You can see the downs coming in here for Rated R. And now the train comes through. Pains is going to push forward as the first one through. Crimson's goes down. A great Lancer. Got to be careful, though, because Hydrone, he's hiding. He's going to get taken out. Nope, he gets out. He rolls into the middle. And Hydrone, he's doing his best here to survive.
It's like a pack of wolves just hunting Elevate. How is Hydrone found the kill on the Dragons? I think it won't count for much, but good lord. E and F belong to Elevate, I should say, but my word. How have they got out of that situation, Elevate? Rated R were coming off spawn and hunting them. In the end, they may have lost enough to finally give Rated R 2 hills yet to play with. Phelpsy trying his best to try and lock this one down. A couple of kills going in Elevate's favor once again, albeit just downs. Jack maybe pushing a little bit overzealously here as Crimson's and co trying to set up really good kill there by Marsh onto Crazed. Shuts him down, but Crimson's comes on through from the side. He's just cleaning up absolutely everybody from Crimson's. Finds at least 3 down towards sandbags, and they will get a hold of E once again. Backwards and forwards we go in this round, but one thing continues, and that is Crimson slaying right now for Elevate.
I ain't wrong. That was fantastic. We saw a 4-piece by Crazed. Crimson's here with a trophy. They're doing everything they can to make sure they don't lose another round. There's the Strikers getting taken out. Marsh is going to fall. Dragons is going to fall. Phelpsy wants to join the party. He gets a double to his name as well. Strikers is going to go down again. Are they just lancering him down? I think they are. In the end, Elevate, they're going to eliminate. They're going to take another round. They're going to go 3-2. And it is back and forth.
Another crazy, crazy round. I sometimes don't even know what's going on in half of these games just because of how manic it sometimes is between these two teams, absolutely flying at each other at any given point. Elevate are quite happy to sit back on a 2-cup, but Rated R are always just like fight, and Elevate are like, yeah, okay, let's swing, let's throw it down. Phenomenal 100%. Play out of both these two teams, but Elevate 3-2 up now.
They are 3-2 up, and just having a quick look at the scoreboard as the teams are placing the weapons down. Jack's 11-11 right now. Eliminations 11, deaths 11. His team are getting outslayed if you look at the numbers, but it's all about the position. It's all about managing to hold the rings where you possibly can. Elevate, they're doing the better job right now.
Well then, back into it. Hydro making this push over towards F as we are past the halfway point now, of course. Because to be honest, I feel as if, points were just inconsequential there. Like, it was nothing to do with, like, D, E, and F or anything. Everyone was just flying at each other.
Yep. I think that's something for this entire game, right? The pace of the game has just been phenomenal. It's been so quick. Both teams, back and forth. They are constantly on the move, constantly finding rounds, constantly finding fights, and converting them into... And the speed at which they're playing is definitely good to see. Things have slowed down a little bit here, though, in this round.
Yeah, to be honest, I needed that.
We'll give both us, the viewers, the teams, a little bit of a break. Great back A, great headshot from Hydrone. That's what you want to see. Now we're looking at him. He's just going to rotate through. Trying to get around on this E-hill. If he can get this one, which he should be able to, he's got a 2v1 situation over here. Oh, Dragon's going to run in. Crimson's done well, though, there. Gets the down. Hydrone trying to push forward now for another kill. That's a good spread here. And this is teamwork personified here from Elevate. They're working so well, finding their kills. Definitely looking like a good round from Elevate once again. Oh, no, Pain. Sponge that one, that's for sure. Not sure it's going to amount to much, though.
Yeah, I was going to say walking through the shot, but the domination about to take on through. Phelpsy's kill might be enough, not quite. Dragons is there to try and shut this one down. Finds a second, gets a good chunk onto the third as well. Jack has to be careful, is going to get taken down. Crimson's is there to potentially go. Oh my word, Strikers finds him. And he actually gets his teammate. Strikers has done phenomenally there. Cog team win condition is still here, but as are Rated R in this round.
You've got to look at the lives, though, mate. Pain,
That's
0.
very That's very true.
Dragon, 0.
It would have to be
Marsh is down to 1. In fact, he's down to 0 now. He's respawned. Sorry, I didn't know he'd not respawned there. And this is where it gets a little bit squeaky if you're a Rated R fan. Yep, your team are doing well, but it's 3-2. You got to win at least 3 rounds to win this one. And your team are already down to 0. This is going to go to execution, essentially, for the side of Rated R. You got to be so careful now not to die. This and all upcoming rounds.
They have to be perfect. They have to be perfect, which is so hard against a team like this. Dragons and Strikers dropping down. Pains does find Jack and find Hydron. Marsh is going to be dropped once again. Crimson's drops him again. Pains is going to kill Crimson's though, or at least drop him down, and eventually
not like
the domination is about to take on through for Rated R. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Not like
Rated R 3-3 now. If you elevate, you literally need to win 1 or 2 more gunfights, and that's it. 3-3. How are we here?
I don't know. I've no idea. I've no idea. All I do know is that this is a good series once again. Rated R against all odds. I mean, what was that about? No lives remaining. They've managed to find their way through. They managed to find some kills. It looks like they were out, but Pain's back and forth, getting kills with his teammates. Fantastic.
Absolute insanity. Again, though, it's one of those things you look across the board, the lives for Rated R looking significantly worse than it does for Elevate. Still, you don't have a lot to play with. The rest of your round really needs to be so strong. How about with Hydron here as ENF goes into the hands of Elevate once again. And Rated R don't have to quite be picture perfect, but they have to be just about that.
Yep. It definitely wasn't perfect. No idea, to be quite honest with you. It was an intense ending. It was a good ending, but yeah, I'm as baffled as the rest as everyone. I don't know how.
Kills going in the favor of Rated R momentarily. Jack is going to get dropped, as is Phelpsy. Phelpsy's cleaned up. Jack still fighting, though. Here with the rest of the team. Rated R trying to make a push through towards tank side. Hydro now in a really bad spot. Jack is going to get picked up once again. Isn't going to get out this time, though. Slazen drops him again, and he is dropped indefinitely. Hydron has to back on down. Crazed runs forward with the rest of his team. Lying behind him, though. Slazen's going to go down, but he will get traded out. Which way is this fight honestly going? Hydron
At the moment,
in control of E, but I mean, look, in control of F, but look towards E, look towards D. That's Rated R's, and if you're Elevate, you have to do something here.
Yeah, Rated R, they're backing up at D as well. They've managed Elevate. They've got to run round. They've got to rotate. Looks like they're going towards the E hill. Look on that mini map. You can see Rated R. They're all the way over there already. They're at the E hill. The thing is, between this rotation, you've basically got the inner route, the quicker route, and that's what makes this map so difficult to push through. Is that if you're the one who's rotating around trying to push hills and you're trying to push against these double caps, you've got such a long route to rotate round that it's so difficult. You've kind of got to force a fight at some point. Looks like they're trying to force it either side, but Elevate 1v1 at the E hill. They're pushing down around here on the D hill as well, and this is actually a very good attempt at it, but no, Phelpsy gets taken out, and that's not good here. Rated R, they might have found their opening. They've still got 2 hills in the name. They're looking potentially for a kill on Crims. He picks up the incense. Nothing there, though. Striker's going to go back to defensive mode.
Could we be seeing another map number 3 here, Fruit? There's potential for it. There's potential for it.
The only thing that's making me think otherwise is
It's Elevate.
A, it's Elevate. A, it's Elevate. But we'll forget about that point. But it's the lives. on Rated R side. They got to be so careful. Right now, Pains, he cannot die in the remainder of this game. Dragons too. If they die, they're in a very dire situation once again.
This can
Pains,
turn around
he's going to
very,
get
very
pushed
quickly.
now.
Pains is going to get pushed. Phelpsy.
Dragons as well. Dragons is in an awful spot. He's stuck between a shot grenade and an Elevate team member. Now Hydrone trying to get the kill. Isn't able to get it. Dragons wins 1v1 as well. This is big for Rated R. They've managed to take the round. They're putting themselves on that map point now. That's exactly what you needed if you were a Rated R player.
Oh my word. They're one round away from tying this up.
Embar goes down now.
Oof. Oh my.
And what do you place? What do you upgrade to now if you're Crimsons? They're hovering the shot grenade. They're going to match the Embar. Definitely an interesting conversation to be had about, is Embar worth it versus a snipe? But the snipe's down in the middle, so it's forced the hand. Embar versus Embar. This will be a fantastic fight. And Krace has managed to pick that up very, very quickly now. Strikers is able to get it out. Is able to manage to pick that one up without too much to worry about. But right now, they're moving these Embars around. Trying to find a place for them. We see Phelpsy up on top. Rotating around. Finding an opening is the aim of the game here.
That's it.
One head,
That's
got
it.
one kill.
And the longer that this round goes on, the better it is, of course, for Elevate. I mean, look, they need 2 in a row here, but looking towards the respawns, Pains, Dragons, if they die pretty early on, they've got to be careful with their lives here. Here comes the flash play.
Here comes the push. Strikers, he hasn't got anything to answer though. Crimson's opens. Incendiary is used perfectly. Stops the push. The points are ticking up now, and now this is where it gets difficult for Rated R. You haven't got the heal. You remember down. Pains down to that 0 lives once again, fighting right on the precipice. Strikers has to find something with this Ember.
They've forced round towards E. They've forced themselves round. What is Strikers and Co doing over here, though?
Oh, he's connected as well. There was just no other shots.
Oh, he's not able to land anything else. Strikers trying to do something with this Ember. Shots going over towards Phelpsy, who has to defend on the other side of things as the push over towards D has come in. Which way is that fight eventually going to go, though?
This is big. Dragons is behind him. The E-Hill is actually in the hands here. And now they're making the push. They're trying to go all the way. Strikers has got one. He's looking to try and make a worldy play here, but he's not able to connect anything just yet. Will get taken out. Pains, last one alive. He's got no lives left. Has to be careful. Keep his team in this round. Keep himself alive. Make sure Elevate don't get too much control. 20 points is the difference between these two teams right now, and it could be swayed by the shades of one battle. That's all they need. Rated R need one battle to take this to a map 3. Elevate need one battle to take this to that round 9.
Chris is going to drop. Not once, but twice. Strikers and Marsh trying their best. Phelpsy with a great shot over towards Dragons. He is going to butter him up, but looking towards this Rated R somehow are still in control of this round, but a big push over towards E comes through. The D cap comes through for Elevate. They know that Rated R have to push, and they don't really have the lives to do it. Slazen's going to get dropped. Slazen's gone.
Elevate forced that play as well. They set up at this E-Hill, and then they forced a 1v1 on the other side. They said, play your cards. Where are you going to go, Rated R? Are you going to push us at E? Are you going to push the 1v1? Elevate, didn't matter. Rated R pushed both. They went for the 1v1 fight. They went for the home hill. They went for the E-Hill, and they've won both of them. They're going to get this one back. Cog, at the moment, we're going to win in 35. E-Hill gets locked in. Now it's 25 seconds until Swarm take this one. New Embars are up. Pains has got that one.
Phelps is going to get a shot. Oh, he's going to get taken down by Pains.
There's the Embar we wanted. Hydrone is going to get taken out as well. And now a 5v3 situation. Rated R will win in just 10 seconds time.
Oh, it looks like a map number 3 once again. Crimson's has to go big for his team. He will go big. Is it going to be enough, though? They have to decap F. There's nobody near it. There's nobody near it. They've won the gunfight. Surely that is it. The win condition comes through. Elevate. Send it to around number 9. Oh my word.
What a play from Elevate. They timed it to perfection once again. Dragons is 1 kill away from 40. Same with Phelpsy. Both teams going at it. 4-4 now to score. Another round 9, Chris. We're getting enough of them today.
Man, my head's battered. My head
Disable
is
coming in on that Ember.
Question is on one side of things. I'd imagine, yeah, it's surely going to be repeated on the other side, and it is.
You've got to. But the question is now is, out of everything that's left on the map, who's in the best situation? You've got that Boltok over on the side of Elevate. You've got 2 utility grades on the side of Rated R. Everyone's going to be fighting over the sniper.
Crimson's does have these incense, though, on one side of things. Jacked up. And Crimson's trying to get this done for Elevate. Rated R the ones with a better start this time round. They will be able to lock down D and E. Elevate, though. They'll be comfortable to send it to Exhibit, it has to be said. The Incend is there just to maybe keep him away. Plenty of damage being done, but Strikers is actually going to push on forward, and it gets nothing with the Incend.
You see Jack go down, but they're going to respond there. Pains is falling, Dragons is falling, and is this the Elevate machine? Are they going to be clutching up once again? Craze has got that sniper. He's trying to find himself a shot with it. This man can make headshots.
And this would be a really good position for him to get in with it. Plenty of bullets left. Looking over towards E, where the sandbags are here now it's a great spot for it. No kills coming in between these 2 teams. Rated R still with that win condition. It will tick up for them, but we know that E is what Elevate are aiming for here. They got the tools to do so. The lives definitely in their favor as well. Pains and Dragons have to be so careful with their lives. Craze now.
That they do.
He's looking for the shot here.
One headshot. That's what Craze is looking for. He's looking for Pains. He's looking for Dragons.
There's the push.
There's
the
the
shot on the
headshot.
Strikers.
Oh!
Doesn't quite land it.
Just skims it. Second goal he goes. There's Striker's face. That's the kill he need. Dragons is falling as well. 4v5 situation now. Marsh is going to fall. Pains is backing off. Slazin has to get out as well. And this is Elevate. They're on the power play. They've got a 4v5 situation now for the rest of the round.
How can this is surely insurmountable for him.
You've got to think so. It would be. We said we had the best round of the Pro League earlier on. If Rated R come back through, it's going to be topped. It has to be this one. But that's such a huge question. They have got the 2 kills.
I was going to say the win condition is with them. It is with them. But there isn't a lot else to play with. If you're Elevate here, you take your time, you pick your fights. Hydron has been dropped here though. One big team fight win and Rated R right back into this one.
That's it, isn't it? They're getting the decap on the D. Hydron's dead, so it's a 4v4 right now for the time being. Strikers is going to fall. Pains has got to reply on Phelpsy as well. If you can clean that up. Pains is going massive. Pains is going huge. 0 lives for the last 3 rounds, this man. And he's already got himself a double.
Chris has to back down. He has to back down here.
He should die right now. They're going to clean him up.
ENF is in control of Elevate though. Crazy can push this. Cleaned up. Which way do they push though?
They have to go. They have to go to F and they have to go to E. They fight on both fronts whilst you've got the opportunity. Buy and fight kills. You can't let Elevate get back to a 3v2 situation.
Hydron and Chris also on 0 lives. So Hydron's going to get dropped. That's a 4v4 now.
Double decap. Double decap.
Oh my god, they've clutched up. The kill's starting to run on through.
They've got to get back to D. They need to go to D Hill now. They've got to kill the kills. They've got to go to D Hill. They can't let... Gonna take 4 seconds and they will win. Strikers has gone huge. Strikers... Rated R off the bat. 4v5. Take the round.
Through. I don't know what's going on this weekend. I don't know what's going on this week. I haven't got a clue.
I'm awestruck. What on earth are we watching? What on earth are we watching?
I mean, the thing is that I feel as if you're elevated,
you can't let that happen. You can't let that happen. That's the end of it right there. You elevate, you're 5v4, you've got a sniper, you've got all the weapons and you want. You've got a 3v2 situation on one side that you lose. You let strikers get a 1v2 on the other hill. My, oh my, man. We're talking about composure. We're talking about, how do we push Elevate up to that top 4 once again? Step 1, don't lose 4v5s against Rated R, who have less power weapons, less life, and less opportunity to win the round than you. Standard. But if you're Rated R, what a performance, man. Pains. He had literally 0 lives for 3 rounds and managed to stick it out, get kills left, right, and center. Boy. What a game. What a game. Hey, we went through the whole of the winter quarter. We've never seen a map 3. Never seen a map 3.
Not one.
2 in one day.
Wow. An absolutely incredible map number 2 between Rated R and Elevate. Honestly, through half of that, I was getting bits of lag. I didn't know what was going on. Honestly, absolutely crazy from Rated R. And I think the thing is that they've just pushed together as a unit and just come out on top of a couple of different gunfights. And then suddenly, you're in the position to win the game. Yes, okay, the respawn timers aren't long, but they're enough for you to get an advantage. And then suddenly, we're going to exhibit.
That's it, isn't it? Hey, I'm glad we're seeing it. I am glad we're seeing it. It means at least in the top 2 and the bottom 2, we've got a close league, and that's what we wanted from quarter, right? We wanted Obey to get back in it. We wanted the new Regal roster to be an improvement. I think it is. I think Obey, they've improved as well.
Yes.
Rated R, they're now pushing Elevate to map 3s, which is a good sign. It's a good improvement. So, hey, I'm all for it.
Oh my word. This one just goes backwards and forwards. We're going to get into exhibit in a second. I mean, do you think, if you are Elevate here, are you overly concerned with the way you lost that going into exhibit? Do you maybe get yourself bummed out by that? It's a difficult one, but we know they got the composure of this team.
Hey, they've done it before, right? We've said before, right? Okay, you've lost the map. Probably going to come back and win 2-1, right? We've seen them at round 9s, and sometimes it looks good, sometimes it looks bad. But the question is, are they bummed out? 100%. 100%. I don't think I've seen another team lose that way for a long time. And it's a little bit embarrassing if you Elevate, to be honest with you.
It is, but, as we said, we said halfway through it, we said halfway through it, one big gunfight won by Rated R, and suddenly this is doable. They win one big gunfight over towards D, and then suddenly it's on. It's game on.
Yeah.
And people are coming off respawn. You, for a moment, at least have advantage numbers wise. It doesn't matter about the respawns. You have more people up, if albeit momentarily, but then you can dictate which way you want to go. You then win another gunfight, and suddenly you're in prime position. Hydra goes down when he's on 0 lives. I mean, I don't think it even mattered at that point. I think he wouldn't have even respawned in time for when Rated R went on to win it. It's one of these things, it doesn't matter how many people you have. If you're on a 4v5 and you split your resources maybe a little bit wrong, you lose your gunfights. Suddenly it's game on, and Rated R take we're to a map number 3. Wow. I can just see that both 2 teams are nearly ready to go. I think it is actually at Pains. Maybe went off for a little toilet break after that one. That was
probably
insane.
So.
Insane. Both these 2 games have been crazy. First map for this one, not so much. A 5-2 bunker win for Elevate, of course, was fairly comfortable. But map number 2 was anything but. Vasgar just provided the goods once again. Rated R taking that one 5-4. They win a 4v5. And the thing is for Pains as well. I think he was on 0 respawns for 3 or 4 rounds in a row. It was for so long.
3 rounds. 3 rounds he was on 0. 3 rounds he managed to stick it out and not die. It's fantastic performance, to be honest with you, from him. And it's testament actually to the whole team, keeping him alive, making sure they're putting the right people in the right spots to take fights that, even if they lose, they're not going to leave them at that number disadvantage. Yes, they let it slip to a 4v5 at the end, but my God, did they come up clutch. My God. That's what you want from Pains and Dragons, and that kind of caliber player. If you can let your Slayers go off, manage to get these single double kills, roll them into rounds, you're in a good spot. And if you can do that 4v5, even better, right?
I mean, just an absolute disbelief for absolute disbelief at how that one's played out. But there we go. It's going to be rated R. Send us map number 3 and see. We're still waiting on one of the players getting back into the lobby. Which way does this one go? I mean, I'm still going to stick with Elevate. I said Elevate 2-1. And I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick with it. Yeah.
I said Elevate 2-0. I'm a little bit disappointed at that. I think the question is now, right? Yeah, a little bit. I think the question is now, right, is who's got the kind of most fire, right? Is the momentum that Rated R have just gained from that victory going to take them through Exhibit and make them perform better than usual on it? Or if you Elevate, do you now have something to prove? Like, you don't want to start your quarter once again against Rated R with a loss. Is that the situation you want to be in? I think if you Elevate, that's going to be a little bit of a question. Like, a little bit of a fire is going to be ignited under their controllers, let's say. And
under the controllers.
I was going to say arses, but I wasn't sure that was PG enough. We'll see.
I said it before.
Under their arses. And Exhibit's a good map for them, right? Exhibit is a good map for Elevate. And we saw last time they played, it was like 5-1, was it? I think it was. And after that opening round came in, we did see Rated R win that, but Elevate came back. They responded and they swept them. And they had some fantastic plays. And as soon as they got control on Exhibit, they did not lose it. It wasn't like Vasgar where, you're constantly chasing the other team around. You stick to your guns, you stick to your post, and you make sure no one comes down those side corridors. You make sure no one decaps that mid hill. Make sure no one comes across that laser bridge, right? And Elevate are very good at that. So,
yeah,
I don't know. I still have to feel like advantage Elevate, but I'm glad Rated R got that first map. And, I'll be glad to see either team win this one because it's been an exciting one once again, right? That's what we were here for.
Yeah,
it's very exciting games.
Exciting. Exactly. And I think we were devoid of them for a lot of last season. And the fact that we're getting so many now is fantastic. And I think one thing we've always asked for in the EU Pro League is a competitive league. I think that's what we've always wanted to see. It has been time and time again, Elevate dominating consistently. And, that's one of those things that we may still continue to see, but it's nice to see that it can potentially be a little bit different. I've just been told that Pains has popped to the loo. So we are just waiting on him getting back, and we will get map number 3 started immediately after he gets back. It's running a late one. I don't think we've been here. Well, no, we have. When it was first to 7. Yeah, when it was first to 7. You're usually home by now. You're home already, so that's
tucked up in bed.
Yeah, I mean, you're literally about a minute away from doing that as soon as we get finished. So
that way.
Thanks.
Right.
So there's at least that. But what a start it's been. The highlight show is going to be the longest one it's ever been. How I keep getting told, keep it down to about 7 minutes.
Cut it down. Maybe you just do 2.
Quite simply impossible at this point.
just do game 1 highlights, game 2 highlights. Easily done.
I could do that. Definitely. But I'm going to keep checking. I've got the game open here. That's the thing. I keep like dotting between like watching through the actual game and then through the feed that we've got. And at this moment in time, still no full lobby. So we are just
this is the first time we can actually see the stream chat as well.
Yeah,
which is kind of interesting.
I had to close it before because I've been lagging now and then again. I'd imagine some of the stream have heard it, and it's just it's the thing what happens when you do online broadcasts, unfortunately. But I was keeping up with the chat. I had to close it there before just because I didn't want to like anything else to impede on my poor northern connection. But yeah, thanks for the support in the chat. I'm sure you guys can appreciate that. I mean, this is going to be the norm now for a little while. It has to be said. I mean, during this
lockdown measures are in
place, the lockdown measures have actually come on through. So we are literally, unless it's absolutely essential, cannot leave the house. So 6 weeks of broadcast at home. Who knows? But thank you to everybody. While we're waiting on this again, I'll point out the esports hub for gears that we have put on the EGL.tv website. I'm sure we'll have been linking it at some point in the chat as well. If you guys want to check that out, that will be updated quite frequently. I would imagine that after every week. I'm not going to throw our team under the bus so quickly to say it'll be updated immediately. I'm going to probably have Matt in my ear just screaming at me in a second. But, we will be updating those and following it along so you can look at all the stats that you want to. You can, if you're a coach like Rubik's in here, you can sort of sit down and have a look through some of the stuff that's there. And I think it's a good positive step. I'm really, really happy myself with how the team have done with it. It's absolutely fantastic. But we will be ready to go to map number 3 in a second. Is he back? He's not back yet.
Not yet.
He's went for a number 2, clearly, hasn't he? This is 100%. Not a number 1 by any stretch of the imagination.
Some dodgy quarantine food. That's what he's had.
Dodgy quarantine food.
Just scrambling at the back of his cupboards to find whatever he can get. But,
see, I specifically made a trip this morning. I got myself out this morning and said, right, I'm going to need to get some food in because we had nothing. So I ran out of the house and stayed within like 2 meters of anybody else.
I'm going to cut you off. He's back.
He's back, is he? As soon as I close the application, there we go. Right, we should be good to go. Any second now.
He's back.
And we will head into map number 3.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, just to confirm the chat, the link is in the chat for the stats hub, and it's all the statistics that we use in the broadcast, right, Chris? So we have access to pretty much the same information, and the just information that we have,
not a pretty format.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not slating the format that we had. Obviously, it was fine. But you know what? Hey, you want to put it out and then no, it wasn't bad at all by any stretch of the imagination. But it's nice to have it looking all pretty and everything, isn't it? Yeah, much better.
100%.
Much better now. Yeah. They look after us, don't they? They
really do. They're all right. And Skirly as well.
All right. We can't give Lisa any shout outs on the broadcast. That's the rule. No, yeah, I'm gonna throw her under the bus. No. She said that you play really badly when you play with them on Gears.
Me? They won't play with me on Gears anymore because I'm too far ahead. I'm up in that master tier, and these scrubby Onyx kids can't be dealing with
Onyx kids. You should have heard what she was saying about you before, mate. Disgraceful.
Terrible.
we are nearly ready to get into this one. Actually, have we started? I haven't been.
We're loading.
Yeah, we're loading in. Fantastic news. Anyway, we are about to load into this one. Look at how the series has broke down so far. 5-2 to Elevate on Bunker. And then a crazy, crazy game over on Vasgar, where Rated R took that one 5-4. Exhibit is where we find ourselves now. And will this go down in history as another week 1 loss for Elevate against Rated R? We're definitely in that category. We're definitely in that potential to say we're nearly ready to go. But unfortunately, the teams are not ready. Oh, they're not ready. What have you been doing? There's nothing else to do. It's not like you can go outside.
I don't know. I do know that just on the fact that we're going to these map 3s, which is obviously very good to see. Every team that loses these best of 3s, right? But if they lose 2-1, they gain a point, right? So it keeps the table closer, and it means that later on we're gonna, more switching and more swapping around of placements, and potentially more upsets or last minute clasps of certain positions in the league, which to me make it a lot more interesting as well. So I like that you can gain points even if you lose, but I like that right now at the start of the season, we know that all the teams are going to be maximum 1 point away from each other. So one upset turns the entire table around. And that's a real good thing for the league, because last time, because it was so predictable and the teams kind of fell in their specific rankings almost perfectly, it was very clearly delineated which team is in what spot. Now, the start means that potentially that we have a lot more chance for upsets later down the road. It's great. It's good to see.
Indeed. I do believe we're nearly ready to go. Got the game up on my screen. Just keeping an eye on when we are starting this one up. Keen to get into Exhibit now. Now this, you know what? I've got a prediction for this. After how crazy all the games have been, Elevate are going to win this 5-0 or 5-1.
Yeah, that to be fair sounds about right.
Sounds right, doesn't it? Yeah.
Or one of the teams will win it that way. I don't know which way it'll be.
Well,
I feel it will be Elevate, but
I mean, how could you go against them on this map historically? How good they are.
If you'd have told me that, you'd have told me that on that last round of Vasgar and it was 4-5 in Elevate, I'd have agreed with you. And we'd have both looked stupid.
We would have. We would have. But here we go. Loading into exhibit. I'm going to go 5-1 elevate here. They're too good at exhibit. They're too good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they are. I'm going to go devil's advocate. I'm going to go rated R just because if they do pull it out the bag, I want to be the guy that
you
said
look
it.
like a genius, yeah.
But
I have to stick
my
to
heart
my
of hearts, yeah, my heart of hearts actually do think Elevate will take this. But even still, someone's got to say it.
Yeah, someone does have to say it. Here we go into the final map of the night. We had potentially, we had potential of 6 maps tonight, and we've got all 6. So there you go.
Yep.
Don't say we don't try and entertain you here. Well, here we go into the game. On board with Jack straight from the rip. I mean, I'm saying elevate, but could it be rated up?
Could be. Depends how well they play these fights, to be honest with you. Last time they matched up on this, start of the quarter last time, it was very much Elevate, making plays, pushing down these hot corridors, and managing to find the kills. That's exactly how they've opened this round, to be honest with you. But they managed to flash for each other, find routes to open up, flanks for one another, and that was pretty much their entire game plan. If they do that again, I don't see Rated R coming back into this one, to be honest with you, to get started on this one. But if Rated R can match that, can manage to find the kills here and there, for sure, Rated R have a chance.
Good shots by Jack. He is going to nail a couple of players down there. Strikers and now Hydra. See what they can do for their team. Marsh is going to find 2 though. Nicely done by him. That might just slow down this maybe inevitable win sometimes for Elevate. I say on exhibit. There's a few other members fall down. So here we go. Marsh and Co can then push through. They will get a hold of Beast. 1 win condition pops up. That will change very, very quickly as Marsh and Co get a hold of B.
Yep, they do get hold of beat. If a point lead to come back from, about 50 points or so, 40 points, but you got to start somewhere, and that somewhere is by getting this new. They got to make sure now that Elevate, they're not managing to push through. See Marsh going all the way back here, and I think he knows that there's a big push coming up from up top. You see Jack pushing up there, and he's got a little bit of support as well from Crimson, so good rotation there by Marsh to help Pains out. And they are starting to crawl back into that points now. 135, 145. The score, this will tip over very, very quickly. And now Elevate, they have to make the play.
Marsh very, very red. Will get away at about 30% HP, but Crazed is going to find 1, as does Phelpsy and Crazed onto Strikers. Dragons is able to answer back actually with 1 kill at least. Does actually find 2 on Phelpsy and Crazed. Is going to drop down eventually though. Marsh though. Is he going to be able to get a hold of B? Maybe just slow down this push coming in from Elevate.
Maybe so. Maybe so. A little bit of a fact for you here. Exhibit in the last quarter had the least amount of eliminations on it out of every map by a long, long way. 191 eliminations in the winter quarter. This time around, though, hoping to get a few more here from Elevate. Good round there from Rated R.
Really, really good round. Really, really good. It was looking like Elevate were potentially going to be making the push. Rated R just lock it down. Couldn't quite get in on time. Their Lancer Fire is solid. Nicely done by Rated R though. There you go. There's the round I said they would get.
And now 5 in a row, yeah?
Possibly. Yeah. Possibly. Well, here we go once again. On board with Marsh.
And a little bit of a break from the trend here for they've not gone for those loadout options, but they've gone for that placement down in the middle. Just because it's on your route, I think that's the most important thing here. You don't have to go out your way to pick up.
Either way, yeah, exactly. And then you can build it into something else if you want to later on. It's nice to have the option, I suppose. Shot shots coming in from Hydra and over towards Marsh. Marsh throws the flash over and just gets sticky in the middle. Really good shot onto Phelpsy. Will he turn around and give Hydron the business as well? Hydron has to back on down. The fights are being won on the other side of things. Hydron's going to find one. Can he find the second as well? Phenomenal from Hydron. Finds 2 kills. It didn't even look like he was going to get one. Massive play out of him.
That was amazing. That was brilliant play. Honestly, if you're rated R, you should have locked him down a lot earlier than that.
Oh, yeah.
You've got to be careful. But Pains, he's about to be another victim on the list.
Hydron.
He's going to look for another one now. He's got a bit of support and a friend as well, but coming in with that Lancer fire from the side. Now Hydron pushing forward. Strikers having none of it. He's going to get taken out, but the push comes on from Elevate, and it's about the long con. Hydron was just getting some shots in, some damage down, so his team could come through and clean this up now. They're going to back off for a minute. Jack moving forward as to not get flashed, but gets taken out by Pains. Rated R, they are still ahead here. They're looking pretty good. They're managing to find the kills. Crazed, you can't jump down here. They've got to find another opening, so he's going to rotate round and try and take rocks once again.
The problem is, yeah, they can't just quite push through. They need to get hold of be pretty sharpish. They are going to drop down from the other side of things, but the kills are coming in for Rated R. Dragons and Pains working so well. Christ is on multiplying one on the Slayers, and he is going to go down, and they just don't have the numbers. They just do not have the numbers here. Elevate. Rated R up. Holding on very, very well in bottom exhibit.
So difficult to push through, though. So difficult to push through that little gap. Especially when there's like 3 or 4 people there defending it. You saw how many people... This is great by Pains. This is a move out of playbook here. Coming in behind them, following the rotation round. Yep. Elevate, they're not even spawning back in. They need to preserve those lives. They're just going to give that round up. And that's perfect from Rated R. They've choked them out so much. They've really forced them to make that play.
Well, you remember what happened in map number 1? Rated R won the first 2 rounds, then Elevate won 5 in a row.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Seems like a long time ago, but I remember.
It does seem like... It feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? We've had a lot of Gears of War. We've had a lot of Gears of War tonight. Quarter to 10 now. Yeah, this is nearly a 4-hour-long show. And we've moved to the first to 5 now. Imagine if this was first to 7.
I'll be here till midnight.
I know, I'd have to pay you 2 days.
Hey,
Don't get any ideas. Don't get any ideas. Let's see though. Can Elevate get something going yet? So far, so good for Rated R. Hydron trying his best to move around. He's just going to get caught with his pants down. It just does seem as if the wind is really in the sails of Rated R here. The gunfights that you just wouldn't expect to go in their favor are going in their favor. You say that, then Craze just turns around, finds 2 on his own as well. Marsh trying his best to fight back. He's being shot from all angles.
Marsh almost had that as well. Like he just fluffed the shot a little bit, but faked the revive, tried to get the kill, but no, Crazed in the end just shut them down, and he's going to get this neutral hill here. But it's still very much early doors. Got to look at the points. 40, 50 points apiece. Also got to look at the stats a little bit, right? Rated R now 2-0 up. If they make this 3, it's going to be impressive. But Elevate across the whole of the previous quarter only lost 1 round on this map.
How many times did they play it?
Only once.
No, okay, there you go. And it was against Rated R.
It was indeed.
Yeah.
So, at least twice as good from Rated R right now.
Yeah, he's done. He's done better at least. Crazed is going to go down those. Rated R start to push on through. Right now, Elevate are getting nobody's getting any points on the board right now. B is going to go into the hands of Rated R though. I'm sure both teams are looping back around towards their spawn. C though is actually going in the favor of Rated R now. If they can loop back towards their own spawn and get a hold of A, then a domination could tick on through Bugin C in the top right corner of the minimap. But it is actually going to be Phelpsy wrap into A to try and do something with it. He is going to be able to capture that, but is he just denying the inevitable here? Or has he allowed his team enough time to get back up off the respawn? No, he has not. That is Rated R 3-0 up now.
Yeah, I think it was a Pains. He won a 1v1 over the other side as well. Wrap that one up. And yeah, on the other side of that stat, Rated R, he only played this once last quarter as well. So, and that was that 5-1 loss. So they are doing, I don't know, something different. They've been asked to play this, right, by Elevate. And
last time round
risen to
when
the
these two played was one of the, what was it, the first week? Or second? Last time round. I think it was early on anyway, but you know, Rated R have said
First
that
half.
they don't feel as if they've reached their potential yet. Maybe they're starting to just they seem to be keep getting better. They're getting better and better. And right now they're 3-0 up on a map that we didn't give them hope. I thought they'd win one round on this map, never mind be 3-0 up. Incense now down here for Rated R, as they are for Elevate as well.
Yep. To be fair to Rated R, they did only ban Exhibit once across the whole of the winter. And that was against Elevate in that second matchup, so...
And where are you
like
finding all these stats for?
I've got a secret repository. And, no, but realistically, what that means to me is that, you know, this Rated R team, they're not afraid to play Exhibit. They're happy to go on. They are happy to take teams on. They just had a bit of a rough time against Elevate on it last time. Seems like this time around, Elevate tried to force the hand, and Rated R, yeah, they're here and they're performing very well so far.
Right now, the very slight advantage belongs to Rated R. We've got the tick ever so slightly over them. Of course, that means absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things as we wait on these two teams to try and make a move. Here it comes. It's going to be out of Jackfex first. As a push towards the aquarium side of Exhibit. And maybe a push over towards B here, but Rated R already. Elevate are being the ones that tried to make the move first. Phelps, he's going to take plenty of damage here, though. He may even get dropped. He does get dropped, but not before he finds Marsh. He will drop him down and will get cleaned up as well. So here we go. The first blood in this round. Maybe it does belong to Elevate. The kills start flow for Dragons, though. He finds one or two, but then does go down. It will be Elevate in control of B.
Yep, Felsi. Some nice plays there. A couple of knives. Good bit of Lancer. Exactly what you want. And now Elevate, they got control. And this was a situation that Rated R, they were struggling against last time they competed on this map against Elevate. Couldn't break the setups. They couldn't force their way back in. So be interesting to see how they fared this time around, because it's the first time they've really been properly tasked with a full setup. Looks like the breaks in so quickly. Haynes, he's going to get the cap as well.
Oh, that's too easy though, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, it's super easy. And the flashbang's going to come out. Crazy.
He's just being forced back to this side of aquarium, and it's so difficult to do anything.
Yep, and they got the pincer. Strikers is in. Knife's going to come out. In the end, who was that? Dragons. Dragons backed out. Didn't want to take that fight. Perhaps should have, because that was the 1v1 that he had. Now he's stuck in a 2v1. Hydrone's going to fly at him. And Dragons gets one, though. The pistol's wavy from Crimson's, but in the end, he's going to get it. He's going to get the kill.
I swear to God, there's not many better 1v1 players than Dragons. Honestly, I will swear it upon my grave. The kid's an animal. Hydro now
really
down to 0 lives, as is Strikers and Pins. This is the final round before they do reset at the halfway point. But these could be influential towards the end of the round. Dragon's now flying forward. He's still got plenty of respawns available. Hydron is actually going to win one of his gunfights. Hydron is actually going to still manage to completely somehow survive. Slazen and Co-Star dropping, though. This should now be a win.
It's not going to tip over. It won't tip over. They've got to get to this hill.
They've got to go. They've got to go.
Marsh has done one. Marsh has done two. Not like this, Marsh. Don't do it to them.
Oh,
that's going to be rated up, locking in 4.
They just were too late. They were too late to find the kills they needed to go.
Yep.
Rated R.
And the usual impeccable timing from Elevate is just falling to bits beneath them. We said it might go one way. We said it might be you know, a bit of a disgust. I went for a bit of a cheeky bat. I said, oh, it'll probably be rated R. You know, myself, I was thinking, definitely going to be Elevate. 100% going to be Elevate. They look fantastic on this map. Nope. Proving once again that, yes, just because you think you're good on an exhibit doesn't mean you quite are. Small pool of games. And now rated R, making them pay for that. Baltok's going to come out. Just a little bit more to add to that fight in the middle.
Well, here we go.
Very, very good for rated R.
Do or die. This will be the first series Elevate have lost since they lost to Rated R in the first game of the very first game. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
In the Pro
They've
League.
only
Anyway.
lost that series in the Pro League.
Wow. Well, here we go. Can Elevate hold on somehow? It would have to be 5 rounds in a row to bring this one back. And there's part of me that wouldn't put that out the question, in all honesty. But here we go. Rated R. Can you inflict a second loss? The only 2 losses that these guys will have online in the Pro League. Last time it happened though, it Awoken the Beast and Elevate didn't lose the game for what? It would have been 11 matches they won in a row after they lost to Rated R the first time. Online, at least, anyway. But once again, we're in this similar situation. Posturing and waiting for this initial fight.
You got to think it's probably going to come back.
Come through. Yeah, it probably will.
This first fight, right? You see Marsh just sat waiting. The tick is in Rated R's favor, so it's technically Elevate that's got to make the move.
Technically, yeah.
I don't think that's how it's going to play out. I think the game favors the aggressor, right? And here's Marsh on that aggression. Pains has Fan Phelps at the other side. Hydrone's having to back off here. Marsh has got control of the aquarium, and the flashbang's going to come back now as Hydrone. He's going to push a 1v2. Dragons is going to fall. Incendiaries are going to miss. This is terrible here for Rated R. That's not what you want at all. Hydrone's made him pay, and now looking to clean up this mess. Hydrone, the janitor, nope, isn't going to do it. Striker's a little bit too messy for him this time around, and now the Boltok has got that opening, has got the shots through the middle.
Jack is in the middle, though. He has managed to get a hold of E for his team.
Good push coming from Strikers.
Yeah, he's going to try and make the push through. Jack is going to be able to back on down. Will clean him up. Can he find Dragons as well? Not likely. Dragons takes him down. Will get dropped by Crimsons, though. Trades these kills out. Phelpsy, though, trying his best to stay alive here. Elevate, trying their best to stay alive in this series, in this map.
Oh, Pain, see down Marsh.
Oh, and then Hydrone's going to be able to clean it up as well. So if you're Rated R, you have to back on down.
Gotta run. Gotta be a nuisance. Try and stay alive. Try and keep away from Elevate. He's done well, kept himself alive. The Omen covering the screen. Now Hydron, being sneaky, gets kicked. Gets the return.
Well,
I thought we might see a bit of a stab there. The Strikers, he's holding down again.
Yeah.
Dragons, he's found a kill. Dragons is forcing up behind them. You see him on the X-ray actually now. Just forcing a play. Dragons got to be careful because he's going to get one shot here by Phelps. Even no! He returns the favor. He should be able to get through to this home hill as well. If you can get the decap, this would be massive. Flashbang's going to come out. Trying his best. Gets the decap. That might be enough. If his team can get in behind him.
Surely
Dragons, don't do it to him. It's all right, though. Rated R. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get this one. They've got to push hard. They've got to push fast.
They needed Dragons to go massive, and they needed teammates to be there with him. Pains and Marsh are going to drop down. This will surely be a round for Elevate. Striker's not going to be able to get there either. Elevate get their first round on the board. They need 4 more.
They need 4 more indeed. This would be a comeback for the Bucks if they can pull this off. Elevate. You know what? It was a very close round. I reckon if Dragon's there, maybe trying to pinch his team, pinch the Elevate team rather than go for that cap, that decap. Maybe then his team have a bit of a quicker route to come through and they can defend that. But it was valiant from Dragons anyway. He tried his best.
Well, that's 1 of 5. Pistol loadout option coming in on the side of Elevate. It's going to be matched by Dragons. No, they don't. They got to cut their in, send grenades instead.
I quite like that.
With how these two teams are playing so passively at the beginning of these rounds, I like it too.
You're going to get that, that second incendiary after 60 seconds now, and it was about 50, 60 seconds before the first kill came in the last round, so yep, it's definitely going to be good if they can get that second one.
It's one that
one
makes
round
sense.
now, that's all they need.
Just 1 round away. Here it comes. Striker's going to put it down. Doesn't find anything. Hydron walks past through the fire and the flames. Finds one. Marsh is going to be dropped as well. Great shots. Combining with his team to find that one. Dragon's going to get some shots taken into it. Marsh is all alone down here. Hydron will find the kill. fantastically done. And it has to be said, a fluffed incend in the end there, Fruit.
Yep, 100%. And that's twice now in a row. Twice in a row, those incendiaries have meant nothing. Hydrone trying to give him the bait. Goes for the wrap shot. Just get taken out by Slazin. Sorry. Slazin gets taken out in the end. Sorry, I misread that one entirely. This is great for Elevate.
Oh, they're doing well here. Flashes are in. The domination.
It should be another round.
Should be. Can they find a kill zone? No, they can't. Crazed is the only one who can answer back. Crimson's is there to find Marsh. Dragons.
They've overextended.
Yep, and they're getting away. That's all they need to do. Well played by Dragons. Finds the kill, gets out.
Dragons doesn't have enough time to get the cap and then get in position. That's the only problem going to happen. Ideally, he wants to be in that hollow, trying to push round, trying to stop them getting in there. And he's got there in time. Perhaps a little bit of a, I don't know, bit of a strange push there by Elevate to go all the way around on the long side. There is a person up top as well from both teams. So 4v4 down at this bottom area. You see actually Phelpsy up there with that Boltok. Got to be careful. If he takes Slazen's head off, that's map over. So Slazen really does need to not push too aggressively. He's getting pushed hard up top. Hydrone's up there as well. Slazen probably will fall here. Marsh is there as backup, but Slazen does get taken out. So 4v5 situation now for Elevate. We've said that before.
We have indeed. Elevating. Well, they were in commanding position. Dragons is going to fight down low, and then Crimson's has answer back. Marsh trying to force Crimson's away.
Another rubbish incend.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Not great. It is Elevate in control of the round. They have the lead, so it is Rated R that have to do something about it. Slazen will find a kill onto Craze down low. Can they actually get a hold of E? This war of attrition up front is going on. Phelpsy wanting to push Marsh out if he can. Marsh just answering back where he can. Still nobody in control of E down low. Eventually, that will go over towards Rated R. The win condition belongs to them.
Yep, definitely. So they just need to hold on to this for a few seconds long. Marsh doing his best just to put damage down on Jack in this corner area. Actually, if he moves along a bit, he might be able to collect the back. But as soon as he does that, Phelpsy pushes up, pushes around to the right-hand side. This time, those lasers, they're in Phelpsy's favor. They're going to help him push through. Marsh, there's 1v1 strafe off. Switches to the pistol. That might be a great idea. Marsh wins it. He's going to turn it. Get the kill. Fly across. Get that home hill. This could be Rated R.
This could be it. This could be it. He's pushing over towards the home hill. Is anybody there from Elevate? No, they are not. It will not matter. Rated R. Do it in 3 against Elevate. The only team to beat the unbeaten Warriors once. Not any longer. Rated R are here to party in the EU Pro League. They beat Elevate 2-1. That top 8 placement was no fluke. They are getting better and better and better. They win this one. After a loss on Bunker 5-2, it's the Vasgar that turns it. Elevate will feel that has to be a 2-0. And now, I think that's what's done it.
2 series in a row. We've had the exact same thing. Oh, we're up. We're winning. Don't worry about it. Oh, we're in a bad spot on the, the last round. Fine of the second map. Rated R come out, clutch up. 4v5 situation to force that. That's the impressive thing. The 5-1 is amazing, right? That really is a blinder. But the 4v5 to push it there was the icing on the cake for me. We saw Regal do it against Obey. We've seen Rated R do it here against Elevate. What a set of games.
My only complaint is that how do we keep up with this? How do we do this every week? How do we do this every week? Wow. I mean, the fact that they went on to lose that in the way they did, I said 5-1. None of us predicted it going to last map and Rated R taking it. No, neither of us predicted that. And the fact that they won it in the fashion that they did as well, absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible set of games. Cast our minds back to the first game. Obey against Regal was mental. Absolutely crazy. I struggle to pick a specific moment of those 2 series that stood out. I mean, the physics sniper clip has to be the one in a way, but the way that Rated R just beat Elevate as well is just there with it. It's just there with it.
Oh, by all means.
I mean, let's have a look at the standings after the first week anyway. I mean, wow. Riga Reserve will find themselves at the top. Rated R in second, and this just comes down to round difference at this point. Of course, we're very early on, and this will not be the case later on, of course, when everything is said and done. But Elevate and Obey Alliance, third and fourth. Things got very interesting there. Now, the question is whether Riga Reserve and Obey Alliance, are they anywhere near Rated R and Elevate? That's my question. That's the big one to answer.
Yeah,
I think
that's what we'll find out
like,
next week, right?
Well, yeah, we'll find out very, very shortly, of course, but I'm interested to see where they are in comparison. Is that a bad week for Elevate? Is it a good week for Rated R? Is that just Rated R's level now? Are they there with Elevate? That's the question. Are Riga Reserve and Obey keeping up with everybody else, though? And I mean, look, the winter quarter, we've seen a lot of 2-0s here in Europe. We only seen a map number 3 in the very, very final week before we sent our teams over to Mexico. But here we are, week number 1 of the spring quarter. If this is the gears you're going to see every week, hey, come spend your quarantine time with us. That has been absolutely insane. Thank you very much for joining me across the internet today.
Pleasure,
unfortunately, we couldn't be in the studio together, but what a show that was. Easily the best show of the EU Gears Pro League so far. I mean, join us next Monday at 6 p.m. Why wouldn't you? We'll see you then.